Okay, this is the final chapter of the story, and then I will. I know a lot of the recordings I made aren't the best quality, including this one, but it is a rough draft. I'd love to make them again nicer. At least it's nice to get the story out there. I have companion pieces I'd like to work on soon. And yeah, it's just really fun to put it out there. Anyway, um, last chapter, the update. The workday began with 4 separate reminders about a system update landing in her inbox before she had even taken a first sip of her morning coffee. Reminders? That would suggest there was a notification to begin with. System snorted. The emails promised it would not be like the last time or the catastrophic failure before that. One email even offered counseling if it was needed, a corporate confession of the impact of optimization on the cogs. System just shook her head. This was not going to be fun. One email stood out. It was an internal email, but not from a familiar server address. The email had no links, no offers of counseling or solipsistic reassurances. It was just a plain text notification. Workspace optimization complete. System felt her breath quicken for a moment before she remembered that she shared this desk with the head of IT. Of course, Charles would have arranged some kind of backup before update day. The office was deadly quiet. System knew without needing to look around that many people were away. Maybe they knew ahead of time. The emails called these reminders, after all. The quiet persisted even after everyone had consumed their morning coffee. Systems booted up slower than usual, like no one really wanted to start anything they knew would be disrupted. Notebooks and pencils came out of desk drawers, still covered in dust. Books and knitting were at the ready. There would be dead time. No one trusted. No one relaxed. System had 2 energy drinks. Sorry, I lost my spot. 2 energy drinks, 1 neon pink legal pad, and some cute penguin stickers to add to notes. She had handed out several to people with wide eyes and reaching hands. Penguins could make any day brighter. She logged on and set up her systems and glanced at their memo on her desktop and typed one message to Charles. Brace yourself. She paused, then added, May the gods help us. See you on the other side. She didn't expect a response, and she didn't receive one. As the calls flowed in, System did not use her desktop template at all. It was all pen and paper all the way. Stats meant nothing, just accuracy and careful note-taking. The space was filled with the sound of pen on paper. It didn't matter that the update wasn't scheduled to start yet. There had been surprises in the past, and counselors were available to discuss how those surprises made everyone feel. Marcia arrived at 10 carrying Tupperware containers full of sweets. She passed them out before even glancing at her workstation. System accepted a caramel brownie with gratitude and offered Marcia a few penguins. Sugar might not save us from optimization, but it can make it sweeter, Marcia said, retrieving a brownie of her own and taking a bite. System was in after call work, mouthful of brownie, when she saw a response appear in their memo. No need to pray to the gods. We are prepared. I wrote a custom wrapper for the update. System stared at the words as she chewed. Who is we? She hadn't prepared anything. She wouldn't have known how. Maybe he meant his team. She finished transferring her handwritten notes into the case file and exhaled only when she watched it save and close. One more down. How many more to go? She got so focused on the next call that she yelped when someone touched her shoulder. Her client was concerned, but she reassured them that everything was fine. Putting them on hold, she turned around to see who had entered her space, genuinely surprised to see Brianna standing there looking frazzled, hair half out of her ponytail. Your computer is still working. Thank God. Go ahead and finish what you're doing, then you can access this file for me, she said, passing over a slip of paper which System accepted and placed on her desk. She completed her call a little awkwardly. It was a bit odd to have her supervisor literally hovering over her shoulder as she worked. When her client kept coming up with just one more question that turned into 3, she found her shoulders rising and her heart beginning to race. Finally, they said goodbye, and she put herself into project mode, picking up the slip of paper and pulling up the case. As Brianna explained the work she needed done, Sylvia arrived. She was chewing her lower lip and clutching her notebook to her chest. System's eyes darted to where the memos should have been on her desktop. They were gone. Of course they were. She would need to discuss this with Charles when the current crisis had passed. The boundary-setting conversation repeated in her head. The memos on her screen did not directly impact him, and there was nothing there to be embarrassed about. She turned away from the two women and focused on the work. The whispers behind her were mildly distracting, but she blocked them out until everything was done. Only then did she turn her chair around. For a moment, no one spoke. Then Brianna asked, "Is your system still good? Think you can help our friend Sylvia out here?" More reps were wandering the aisles looking dazed. The words, "We are prepared," echoed in her mind. She was still functioning. But for how long?